Religion CBA 1, Martin Luther King. Introduction. My name is CJ Flood and I have decided to do my Religion CBA 1 on Martin Luther King Jr. I decided upon this as he has shown his fate multiple times as he was a civil rights activist and stood up for the rights of people of colour in America. Early life. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on the 15th of January 1929 and was assassinated on the 4th of April 1968. He was a Baptist and a civil rights activist who fought for the rights of people of colour in America. His father, Martin Luther King Sr., was also a civil rights activist. Martin Luther King Jr.'s fate. Martin Luther King's involvement with civil rights had to do with his Protestant beliefs and the work of Mahatma Gandhi. Growing up in a racist and separatist America, he attended Morehouse College of Atlanta, following in the footsteps of his father and grandfather. After receiving a doctorate, he became pastor for the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. Civil rights. King took part in and led marches for the right to vote, desegregation, labour rights, and other civil rights. King delivered his I Have a Dream speech outside of the Lincoln Memorial. On October 14, 1964, King won the Nobel Peace Prize for combating racial inequality through nonviolent resistance. False accusations. King had been wrongly jailed on several occasions, and at one point the FBI had claimed that King was a radical, and after that FBI agents investigated him for possible communist ties, spied on him, and secretly recorded him to try and find a reason to arrest him. In 1964, they mailed King a threatening and anonymous letter, which he interpreted as an attempt to make him commit suicide. I Have a Dream. King's infamous I Have a Dream speech has been regarded as one of the best speeches in American history. The speech was 17 minutes long. In the speech's most famous passage, Mahalia Jackson shouted, "Tell them about the dream." King then said, "I say to you today, my friends, so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slaves owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the colour of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, one day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as brother and sister. I have a dream today. Martin Luther King's assassination. On April 1st, 1968, Martin travelled to Memphis, Tennessee. In the late afternoon of April 4th, he stepped out onto the balcony of the Lorraine Motel where he was staying to speak with Andrew Young. As he saw Jackson and waved to him for a moment, a gunshot rang through the air, and Martin Luther King was hit in the neck and fell dead from a sniper's bullet. Aftermath. Martin Luther King Jr. Day was set up as a holiday in cities and states throughout the United States, beginning in 1971. The holiday was enacted at the federal level by legislation signed by President Ronald Reagan in 1986. Hundreds of streets in the U.S. have been renamed in his honor, and the most populous county in Washington state was rededicated for him. The Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. was dedicated in 2011. My thoughts. I feel that Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream will still live on, but racism is still a big issue in the whole world, and we need to fight it. But I also feel there will always be people who will be racist, and that isn't right. And I also feel that the most cases of people being killed. I also feel that most cases of people being killed because of racism are overlooked. But the case of George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement puts a little bit of hope that these cases don't go overlooked. But a case I feel that has gone overlooked is the killing of Breonna Taylor. So I hope one day racism in the world will be gone.